Archangel Michael says, I was sent to find you today, this message is yours. Beloved, I want you to understand something extraordinary about this moment. Not in a general sense. In the most personal and specific sense possible. Archangel Michael says I was sent to find you today. Not to broadcast a message into the world and hope you happen to encounter it. To find you. The God who knows your name looked at this day and at the specific weight you have been carrying in this specific season, and he made a decision. He sent me to reach you. Today. In this moment. Through this message. And the fact that you found it and pressed play and are receiving these words right now is not coincidence. It is the successful completion of the assignment I was given. I found you. And what I was sent to deliver is now being placed directly into your hands. This message is yours. I know that sounds remarkable. But beloved, the God who created the universe is also the God who manages the specific details of the specific lives of the specific people who belong to him. He is not too large for your life. He is precisely sized for it. He fits into the details of your Tuesday afternoon and your 3 a.m. worry and your private prayer and your quiet hope and your unexpressed question with the same ease that he spoke the galaxies into existence. He is both cosmic and intimate. Both universal and personal. And the personal dimension of his attention is what is operating right now. He sent me for you. Today. And this message is yours. Tap the like button right now if you believe that God is personal enough to send a specific message for a specific person on a specific day. Because that is exactly what is happening. And drop a comment below and type "found" if you receive this word that heaven found you today with a message that was prepared specifically for you. Just that one word. Found. Because being found is the beginning of receiving everything that was sent along with the finding. Why today was the day heaven chose to reach you. Beloved, Archangel Michael says he wants to explain why today was the day that heaven chose to reach you with this specific word. Because the timing of divine communication is never accidental. And understanding why today matters is going to help you receive what was sent with the full weight it deserves. The first reason today was the day is because of where you are in your journey right now. Beloved, not every day is equally significant in the journey of a life. There are ordinary days where the path is clear and the steps are simple and what is required is faithfulness rather than fresh direction. And then there are days like today where something about the specific place you are in your journey requires a word from heaven that could not come on a different day and produce the same effect. Something about your heart today. Something about your readiness. Something about the specific weight you have been carrying and how long you have been carrying it and what it has been doing to your spirit. All of it converged today in a way that made today the right day for this word to arrive. Heaven saw that convergence. And it responded to it. The second reason today was the day is because something in the spirit realm shifted that made the reaching possible. Beloved, sometimes the delay in receiving a word from heaven is not the result of heaven being silent. It is the result of interference in the spirit realm that was blocking the signal. And something shifted today. Something in the unseen realm that had been creating resistance gave way. And in the space that opened, the word that had been trying to reach you finally landed. The shifting was not random. It was the result of accumulated prayer and the work of angels and the movement of God on your behalf in the places you cannot see. And the word arrived today because today was the day the path between heaven and your heart became fully clear. The third reason today was the day is because what is coming next in your life requires what this word is going to deposit in you. Beloved, God prepares his people before he deploys them. He speaks before he sends. He deposits before he assigns. And what is coming next in your life requires something in your spirit that this word is going to produce. A faith level that the word is going to build. A clarity that the word is going to release. A courage that the word is going to activate. A settled knowing that the word is going to establish. And the timing of the word's arrival is directly connected to the timing of what is coming next. The word arrived today because what comes next is closer than it has ever been. And you needed what the word carries before it arrives. The fourth reason today was the day is because your prayers reached a cumulative threshold. Beloved, every prayer you have ever prayed is alive in the spirit realm. They do not evaporate. They accumulate. They build. They press toward the moment of their answer like water building behind a dam. And something about the accumulated weight of everything you have been bringing before God in this season reached a threshold today. A point where the pressure of the accumulated prayer was sufficient to produce a response that the early prayers alone could not have produced. The word that arrived today is partly the answer to prayers you prayed months or years ago. And today was the day because today was the day the accumulation reached the level that produced the response. The fifth reason today was the day is because someone you are connected to needed the breakthrough that you're receiving this word is going to produce. Beloved, the messages from God that He sends to specific people on specific days are rarely only for those people. What you receive today you are going to carry. And what you carry is going to touch the lives of people around you in ways that are not always immediately traceable but that are real and significant. Someone in your circle is waiting on the other side of a shift that is connected to yours. Someone whose situation is tied to what happens in you when you receive this word today. Heaven reached you today not just for your sake but for theirs. And the urgency of the reaching reflects the urgency of their need. The sixth reason today was the day is because the enemy has been trying to prevent this word from reaching you, and today his interference failed. Beloved, the enemy knows what this word is going to do in your spirit. He knows that what shifts in you when you receive it is going to shift the landscape of what has been possible against you. And he has been working to intercept the signal. Through busyness. Through distraction. Through the noise that drowns out the quiet places where heavenly communication lands best. Through the discouragement that makes you less likely to position yourself to receive. Through the specific circumstances that kept you from other moments when this word might have reached you. But today something in that interference failed. Today the signal got through. Today the word found you. And the enemy who tried to prevent this moment discovers today that he cannot indefinitely prevent what God has decided to deliver. And the seventh reason today was the day is the most personal one of all. God saw you today specifically and responded to what He saw. Beloved, God looked at your life today. At the specific texture of today. The weight you woke up with this morning. The thought that was running in the background of everything you did. The specific hope that has been present but fragile. The specific question that has been pressing. The specific person you have been carrying in your heart. The specific situation that has felt unresolved for longer than you wanted to manage it alone. God saw all of that today specifically. And what He saw moved Him to respond. Not eventually. Today. Because that is what love does when it sees a need. It responds immediately. And the response is this message. This finding. This word that was sent from heaven with your name on it and that arrived today because today was the day you needed it most. Beloved, right here I want you to drop a comment and type the one word that describes what today felt like before you found this message. Just one word. tired, heavy, confused, hopeful, desperate, quiet, searching. Whatever today felt like before this moment. Because God is about to speak directly to whatever that word describes. Comment below. What heaven sent me to tell you today. Beloved Archangel Michael says that the word he was sent to deliver has 7 parts. And he is going to give you every part of it now. Because you were found for a reason. And the reason is this word. Receive each part as something that was formed in the throne room of heaven and carried through this message to reach you today. The first thing heaven sent me to tell you is you are closer to the breakthrough than the waiting has made it feel. Beloved, the waiting has been distorting your sense of distance. The longer a waiting season goes, the further away the answer can feel, even when it is actually getting closer. And heaven says today the breakthrough you have been believing for is closer than it has ever been. Closer than it was last week. Closer than it was last month. Closer than it was in any previous season of the wait. The waiting has not been taking you further from what was promised. It has been taking you closer. Through preparation. Through formation. Through the development of the capacity that the breakthrough requires. And today the distance is smaller than it has ever been. Do not let the length of the wait convince you that the answer is far. The answer is near. Closer than your discouraged moments have been telling you. The second thing heaven sent me to tell you is the fear that has been limiting you is not from God. Beloved, there is a fear operating in your life that has been setting limits on what you attempt. On what you believe. On what you allow yourself to hope for. On what you are willing to step toward. A fear that presents itself as wisdom or as realism or as the reasonable caution of someone who has been disappointed before. But heaven says today that fear is not from God. For God has not given you a spirit of fear but of power and of love and of a sound mind. The fear is not wisdom. It is not realism. It is a weapon that was specifically designed to fit the shape of your particular hesitation. And it is being exposed today as what it is. Not your natural personality. Not the reasonable response of a mature person to past disappointment. A spirit that is not from God. And a spirit that is not from God has no authority over a life that belongs to God. Refuse it today. In the name of the one who sent me. And take the step that the fear has been preventing. The third thing heaven sent me to tell you is the relationship you have been praying for is moving. Beloved, there is a specific relationship that you have been holding in prayer. A family member who has been distant. A friendship that was damaged. A marriage that has needed healing. A child who has been walking in a direction that has broken something in you. Heaven says today that relationship is moving. Not visibly yet necessarily. But in the spirit realm something has shifted in the heart of the person you have been praying for. A softening that was not there before. An openness that was previously closed. A pull toward reconnection or toward healing or toward God that the person themselves may not fully understand yet. The prayer has been working. The movement has begun. And what you are going to see in the natural realm in the coming days is the evidence of what has already shifted in the spirit realm. The fourth thing heaven sent me to tell you is God has been doing something in your hiddenness that is about to become visible. Beloved, there is a work that God has been doing in you in the hidden places of this season. A formation. A development. A deepening of something in your character and your faith and your capacity for the assignment that was always yours. And that work that was hidden from the eyes of the people around you is about to become visible. Not because you are going to announce it. Because what is formed in the hidden season eventually expresses itself in the visible one. The depth that was developed in the quiet. The wisdom that was gained in the difficulty. The faith that was refined in the testing. All of it is about to become visible in what you say and what you do and how you move and what you produce. The hiddenness is ending. And what emerges from it is going to surprise the people who only saw the difficulty and not what the difficulty was producing. The fifth thing heaven sent me to tell you is a financial door is opening that you did not expect. Beloved, the provision that the next season of your life requires is being released right now through a door that was not on your list of potential sources. A connection that is going to carry financial dimensions that change the equation for your household. An opportunity that is going to arrive through a channel you were not monitoring. A resource that is going to surface through a direction you had not been looking. The financial door that is opening is not the one you have been watching. It is the one God has been preparing in the direction you were not looking. And when it opens, it is going to be unmistakably clear that what arrived did not come from your strategy. It came from God's arrangement. And the provision that flows through it is going to be sufficient for the season and generous enough to make you a blessing to the people around you. The sixth thing heaven sent me to tell you is your body and your mind need what God is releasing right now. Beloved, the weight of this season has taken a physical and emotional toll that you have been managing without always acknowledging. The body that has been carrying stress beyond what it was designed to sustain indefinitely. The mind that has been processing more than it can fully resolve. The emotional reserves that have been running lower than they should because the demands of this season have consistently exceeded the replenishment available to you. Heaven is releasing renewal into those places right now. Not as a vague spiritual comfort. As a genuine movement of the healing and restoring power of God into the physical and emotional and mental dimensions of your life. Let it happen. Do not resist it with doubt or with the sense that what you are experiencing is too ordinary to be worth the attention of the God who moves mountains. He moves mountains and he tends to the bruised reed. He is tending to you right now. And the seventh thing heaven sent me to tell you today is the thing you almost gave up on is exactly what God is about to move on. Beloved, there is something in your life that has been at the edge of your willingness to keep believing for it. Not yet fully given up. But close. The grip has loosened. The prayer for it has become less frequent. The hope for it has been protected by keeping it smaller. Because holding a large hope in a long waiting season costs more than holding a smaller one. And God says today the thing you almost gave up on is exactly what He is about to move on. Not because your tenacity convinced Him to act. Because the time He established for its fulfillment has arrived. And the fact that you have been holding on just enough to receive this word today means you have held on long enough. The movement is beginning. On the specific thing. The one you almost gave up on. Watch what God does with it in the coming season. Beloved, I want to pause here and speak to your heart about something directly. This ministry has been releasing words like this one because we believe that God sends specific messages for specific people, and that being part of how those messages reach their intended recipients is one of the most significant things we can do with the resources available to us. If this message found you today and if what was sent landed where it was aimed, I want to invite you to invest in the work that made the finding possible. Scan the QR code on your screen or use the link in the description below. $5 or $10 or $25 or $50 or $100. Give what is genuine. And know that your seed is going directly into the work of finding the next person with the word that was prepared specifically for them. What happens after you are found? Beloved Archangel Michael says that being found by heaven is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of the next chapter. And he wants to tell you 7 things that are going to happen in your life in the season that follows this moment of finding. The first thing that happens after you are found is alignment. Beloved, something in your spirit is going to come into alignment in the days that follow this moment. An alignment between who you are and who God says you are. Between where you are and where God is pointing. Between what you have been doing and what God designed you to do. The alignment is going to produce a clarity that the misalignment was preventing. And from that clarity is going to come a direction that is more specific and more confident than what you have been walking in. The second thing that happens after you are found is doors open that were closed. Beloved, in the season that follows this moment of being found by heaven, doors are going to open in your life that have been closed. Not because you found the right key or the right strategy. Because what opened them was the alignment that happened when the word from heaven landed. Alignment with purpose opens doors. And the doors that are about to open are going to confirm to you that what shifted in your spirit when this word landed was a shift that had practical implications in the natural realm of your life. The third thing that happens is connection arrives. Beloved, after being found by heaven, you are going to find that the right people begin to arrive in your life with a frequency and a precision that feels divinely arranged. Because it is. The connections that are coming are the connections that belong to the next chapter. People who carry what you need for the season ahead. People who need what you carry for their own season. Divine appointments that feel less like coincidence and more like someone was managing the calendar from above. Because someone was. The fourth thing that happens is courage increases. Beloved, after being found by heaven, something happens to courage. It grows. Not because your circumstances become less uncertain. But because the experience of being specifically sought and specifically found by a God who knows your name and your situation and your season produces a confidence that is harder to shake than the confidence that precedes the encounter. You know something now that you did not know before this moment. That God found you. On purpose. Today. And a person who knows that God specifically pursued them has a harder time believing that God would abandon them tomorrow. The fifth thing that happens is prayer deepens. Beloved, after being found by heaven, prayer becomes less of a religious duty and more of a genuine conversation. Because the experience of being specifically sought and specifically reached by God makes the relational dimension of prayer more real than the theological dimension ever made it. You are praying now not to a God who is somewhere in the cosmos hoping you will pray. You are praying to a God who arranged for a message to find you on a specific day because he wanted to speak to you. That God is easier to pray to. More accessible. More personal. And prayer to that God is qualitatively different from prayer to the distant theological version. The sixth thing that happens is peace arrives in the places that were most unsettled. Beloved, after being found by heaven, there is a peace that settles into the specific places that have been most unsettled in this season. Not the peace of having everything resolved. The peace of knowing that the God who found you today is the same God who holds everything that is still unresolved. And that what he holds securely. The peace is not the absence of difficulty. It is the presence of the one who is greater than every difficulty. And his presence is what was confirmed today when he found you. He is here. With you. In the difficulty. And the peace that comes from that knowing is real, and it is settling into you right now as you receive it. And the seventh thing that happens after you are found is you become the finder. Beloved, one of the most consistent patterns in the way God works is that what he gives in order to give through. And the experience of being found by heaven today is something that you are going to carry. And the carrying of it is going to make you more attuned to the people around you who have not yet been found, who are in the same place you were in before this message arrived, carrying weight they cannot fully name, asking questions they cannot fully answer, hoping for something they cannot fully express. And your experience of being found is going to make you the kind of person who notices those people and who is used by God to reach them with the word that was sent for them. You were found today. And in the season ahead you are going to be part of how others are found. Watch for the people God places in your path who need what was placed in you today. And reach toward them, the way heaven reached toward you. 7 declarations for the one who was found today. Beloved, I want to close this message by speaking 7 declarations over your life. Over the finding that happened. Over the word that was received. Over the season that is opening. And over every door and every connection and every breakthrough that is going to follow this moment. Declaration 1. I declare that I was found today by a God who specifically sought me. The message was sent for me. The finding was intentional. The word that was delivered was prepared for my specific life in my specific season. I was not a general recipient of a broadcast. I was a specific target of a divine dispatch. And I was found. Declaration 2. I declare that the breakthrough I have been waiting for is closer than the waiting made it feel. The distance that discouragement was reporting was inaccurate. The breakthrough is near. Closer than last week. Closer than last month. Closer than any previous season of the wait. And the arrival is coming with a timing that is going to make the wait make sense. Declaration 3. I declare that the fear that was limiting my forward movement has no authority over my life. It was not from God. It was not wisdom. It was a weapon. And the weapon has been exposed. And an exposed weapon in the hands of an exposed enemy loses all of its power over a life that belongs to the God who sent this word today. Declaration 4. I declare that the specific relationship I have been carrying in prayer is moving in the spirit realm right now. Something has shifted in the heart of the person I love who has needed this shift. And what has shifted in the spirit is going to become visible in the natural in the coming days. The prayer was heard. The movement has begun. Declaration 5. I declare that a financial door is opening right now in a direction I was not watching. The provision for the next season of my life is being released through a channel that God has been preparing. And when it arrives, I am going to recognize it as the answer to prayers I have been praying. And I am going to receive it with open hands and a grateful heart. Declaration 6. I declare that the thing I almost gave up on is exactly what God is about to move on. The grip that was loosening is being strengthened. The hope that was being protected by keeping it smaller is being released to its full size. And what I almost gave up on is going to become the testimony that I tell for the rest of my life. God moved on the thing I almost gave up on. Watch. Declaration 7. I declare that being found by heaven today has changed something in me permanently. My faith is stronger. My expectation is higher. My courage is greater. My prayer is deeper. My peace is more settled. And my awareness of the specific personal attention of a God who found me today on purpose is going to shape the way I move through every season that follows this one. I was found. And the God who found me is not going to lose me again. Because he never does. God bless you, beloved. Until next time. The closing word from Archangel Michael. Beloved, as we close today, I want to release a final word over the person who received this message. I was sent to find you. That assignment is now complete. You were found. And what was sent along with the finding has been delivered. Every word of it. Into the places it was aimed. And what was delivered is going to produce what it was sent to produce. Not because I am confident in my own ability to deliver an effective message. Because I am confident in the God who sent me. And He has never sent a word that returned to Him without accomplishing what it was sent to accomplish. He says, beloved, go from this moment differently than you arrived. You arrived with the weight of the season. You leave with the word of the God who is over the season. You arrived with the loneliness of carrying what you have been carrying. You leave knowing that you were found today by a God who was specifically looking for you and who had something specific to say when He found you. You arrived with the questions. You leave with the word that speaks into the questions even when it does not resolve every one of them. Because a word from God does not always answer every question. Sometimes it simply establishes that the God who holds the answers is the God who also holds you. And that holding is enough. It has always been enough. And it is enough today. Go in peace. Go in the specific knowledge that you were found today. Go with the word that was delivered. And go expecting that everything the word activated in your spirit is going to become visible in the natural realm of your life in ways that are going to confirm again and again that what happened today was real. You were found. The word was delivered. And what comes next in your story is going to be worth every difficult day that preceded this moment. God bless you, beloved. Until next time. And please share this message with someone who needs to be found today. Because you know what it feels like to be found. And you know what it does to the spirit. Pass it on. God bless you. And before you go, would you seal this moment with a seed? $5 or 10 or 25 or 50 or 100. Whatever is in your hand right now. Scan the QR code on your screen or use the link in the description below. And as you give, declare out loud, I was found today. The word was sent for me. And I receive everything that was sent along with the finding. God bless you, beloved. Until next time. 7 times heaven sent someone to find a specific person in Scripture. Beloved, I want to show you 7 moments in the Bible where heaven sent a specific messenger to find a specific person. Because what happened to you today is not unprecedented. It is part of a pattern that has been running throughout the entire history of God's relationship with His people. The first is when heaven sent an angel to find Hagar. Hagar had run away from Sarah into the desert. She was alone. Without water. Without a plan. Without anyone who knew where she was. And the angel of the Lord found her by a spring of water in the desert. Not she found the angel. The angel found her. And the angel said, where have you come from and where are you going? And then the angel gave her a promise about her son that changed the entire trajectory of her story. Heaven sent a messenger to find the person who was most alone. Most hidden. Most without hope. And the finding was the beginning of everything that followed. You were found today, beloved. Just like Hagar was found. By a heaven that knows exactly where you are even when you feel most hidden. The second is when heaven sent an angel to find Elijah. Elijah had fled to the wilderness and sat under a juniper tree asking to die. He was done. Finished. At the end of everything he had. And the angel of the Lord came and touched him and said, "Get up and eat." Not with a lecture. With food. With the practical provision of someone who understood that the person they were finding needed physical care before they needed theological correction. Heaven sent a messenger to find the prophet who was at his lowest point. And the finding was followed by food and rest and more food and a journey and a fresh commission. The finding today, beloved, is going to be followed by exactly what you need for the journey ahead. The third is when heaven sent Philip to find the Ethiopian eunuch. The Spirit told Philip, "Go to that road." And Philip went. And he found an Ethiopian official sitting in his chariot reading Isaiah and not understanding what he was reading. And Philip ran to the chariot and asked, "Do you understand what you are reading?" And the man said, "How can I unless someone explains it to me?" And Philip got into the chariot and starting with that scripture told him the good news about Jesus. Heaven sent Philip to find one specific person on one specific road reading one specific passage. The precision of the finding was extraordinary. And the person who was found that day carried the gospel to Ethiopia. One finding. Continent-changing impact. Heaven finds people, and what they carry after the finding reaches places that the finding alone could not have anticipated. The fourth is when heaven sent Ananias to find Saul. Saul was in Damascus blind and fasting after his encounter on the road. And the Lord appeared to Ananias in a vision and said, "Go to the house of Judas on Straight Street and ask for a man from Tarsus named Saul." And Ananias went. And he found Saul. And he placed his hands on him and said, "Brother Saul, the Lord who appeared to you on the road as you were coming here has sent me so that you may see again and be filled with the Holy Spirit." Heaven sent a specific person to find a specific person at a specific address on a specific street. The specificity of the finding is staggering. And what Ananias deposited in the person he found that day became the foundation of the ministry that changed the world. The fifth is when heaven sent Barnabas to find Saul again. Years after his conversion, Saul was in his hometown of Tarsus. And Barnabas went to Tarsus to look for Saul. And when he found him, he brought him to Antioch. What followed was a year of ministry that built up the church in Antioch and sent out the first missionary journey. Heaven used Barnabas to find the person who had been waiting in obscurity for the season of deployment to begin. The finding came in the form of a person who looked for him and brought him out. He was positioned to find. And when he saw his son, he ran. He did not wait for the son to arrive and announce himself and deliver his speech. He ran to him. He found him before the son had finished coming home. Heaven finds people before they have finished turning around. The finding happens early. In the middle of the return. While you are still on the road. While you are still figuring out how to come back. Heaven runs toward you before you have completed the journey toward it. You were found today, beloved. Before everything in your life was resolved. Before you had it all together. Heaven found you exactly where you are. And the seventh is when Jesus found Zacchaeus. Jesus was passing through Jericho. A crowd was gathered. And Zacchaeus, who was short, climbed a sycamore tree to see Jesus as he passed. He expected to be a spectator. He expected to watch from a distance the way he had always kept a distance from community. And Jesus looked up. Directly at him. In the tree. And said, "Zacchaeus, come down immediately, I must stay at your house today." Jesus found him in his distance. In his tree. In the watching from afar that had characterized his whole relational life. And Jesus went home with him. And that day salvation came to Zacchaeus' house. Heaven found the one who expected to watch from a distance. Heaven found him in the tree. And what happened after the finding transformed not just one man but his entire household. You were found today, beloved. In whatever tree you have been watching from, in whatever distance you have been maintaining, heaven found you there. And it has come home with you. God bless you, beloved. Until next time.